Man, I miss the Overwatch League. August was our first full month without it, and I'll be honest, I'm going through some withdrawal right now. I need high-quality Overwatch, and now...
They need to just play back, they need to reset, like what Genome was saying on the analyst desk.
EMP
now.
Big EMP coming out from Locus, shuts it all down. Huge plays coming out from him. Graviton Surge is available as well. When are we going to use it? Throws it out. Everyone's stuck in the middle. And who is left?
Merit.
It's Shoyo, Merit, and Locus. And Locus wins the fight!
Yeah, that'll do it. How's it going, guys? I'm Dividing by Zero, and there's other competitive Overwatch events outside of the Overwatch League? Off-season? What off-season, I say. Though admittedly, August 2018 was a fairly slow month for competitive Overwatch. I mean, the most exciting thing we had for a bit was when the Dallas Fuel announced that there would be announcements. Cool. So in this video, I'm going to try to not only go through any Overwatch League news and roster updates for the month of August 2018, but I'm also going to take you through what's going on in the Overwatch World Cup and Contenders. Yeah, there's a lot to go through, so let's get moving, shall we? On August 2nd, the Overwatch League announced that Atlanta and Guangzhou will be joining us for the Overwatch League Season 2. The Atlanta team will be owned by Cox Enterprises, and Guangzhou is owned by the Nanking Group. Other teams and several other locations have been rumored, but as of right now, these are the only two confirmed by Blizzard. Welcome to the league, guys. Feel free to wipe your shoes on the dragons and come on in. One of the first and biggest moves of the entire Overwatch League offseason, and yes, I'm saying that knowing that the offseason isn't even half over, was when Fissure moved from the LA Gladiators to the Seoul Dynasty. Now, I've already made a video where I talked about this more in depth, so you can click on it if you want. I just hope that Fissure really gels with his team and doesn't move around anymore. He needs a forever home. Also, I hope he and Slasher can go get a coffee together or something. The two have come at odds again and again. I just want them to team up and take out the much bigger threat on Twitter, Monte Cristo. The San Francisco Shock have made a huge moves so far in the offseason by releasing IDQD, Nomi, and Dak from their roster. And I was kidding when I said it was huge. This surprised literally no one. However, all three of these guys are very talented, and I hope they can all find a home elsewhere. The Boston Uprising made a very similar move when they cut Kalios, Avast, and Snow from their roster. Kalios was overall a disappointment last season, and the two support players are on the stage for a total of 1 map combined. So, again, literally no one was surprised. It does make me wonder if the team is committing the Kelix at main support, or if they're going to bring someone to compete with him. We'll see, but once again, I wish all three of these players the best in the future. God damn it, I thought I was done with the script, but then the Gladiators went out and cut iRemix, Asher, and Silkthread, and then the NYXL cut Janice. I guess all the teams decided that August 31st was the cut day. I'm sounding like a broken record right now, so same thing to these guys as with Shock and Uprising players, good luck, really. And let's move on. Alright, let's talk about the elephant, or I guess the bird in the room. Seagal has retired from professional Overwatch. One of the most influential, recognizable, and respected faces in the Overwatch League, off the stage. I am sad about it, but when I saw that he was hitting 100,000 viewers on a stream, even if it was a stream Blizzard promoted, I didn't feel quite as bad. Seagal will continue to inspire and entertain in the years to come, and I can't wait. Joining Seagal on the Overwatch League alumni list is Gambler, the main support for the Seoul Dynasty. Gambler was one of the best parts of a Dynasty squad that was massively underperforming in the latter half of the season, and I'm sure the Dynasty will miss him greatly. Like Seagal, he will also move to a streaming role, but he will be affiliated with the Dynasty, unlike Seagal with the Fuel. In other news, unless the Dynasty decide to keep Toby at main support, the Dynasty are looking for a new one. The reigning champion Spitfire have recently decided to part ways with their head coach Chang, where he very quickly got snapped up by the Dynasty, who are trying to refill after cutting their entire coaching staff at the end of the season. Since he was the coach of GC Busan, which makes up half the roster and he's worked with for a while, I'd have to imagine Chang was offered a pretty large sum of money in order to switch teams. The NYXL are also doing a clean out of their coaches, for some reason. Wizard Hyong left the team on mutual terms. He's a great coach, obviously, and would be a huge asset wherever he ends up, About all I can imagine of the Dynasty licking their lips ready to pounce on him. Don't ruin his career like you did with everyone else. The Overwatch League All-Star Weekend aired, and it was a lot of fun. We saw some of the best and most popular players in the league play unorthodox games like Lose Field Ball, Mystery Heroes, and Lockout Elimination. We even saw the talent play on stage in one of the funniest best of threes I've ever seen. Surefour of the LA Gladiators won the Widow 1v1 tournament, and Mickey of the Dallas Fuel won the Dennis Heveko Award due to his unwavering positivity. The event as a whole was a celebration of all the Overwatch League accomplished in Season 1, and I could not be happier with it.
After they get rid of Lucio Ball.
Now, to step away from the league, the Overwatch World Cup kicked off for its third installment this month, and days beforehand, Jake of the Houston Outlaws announced that he would be playing a casting role in the event, color commentating for ZP, a highly respected and veteran caster in the community that had been casting NA Contenders. Jake did a great job, especially for his first time, and there's no reason why he wouldn't have a spot as a caster in the Overwatch League after he decides to retire. He's written a few articles for the website, too. But into the World Cup itself, the first group stage was held in Incheon, South Korea, and saw teams from Chinese Taipei, Finland, Hong Kong, Japan, Russia, and South Korea compete for 2 spots in the Final 8 at BlizzCon. And by 2 spots, I actually mean 1 spot, as everyone knew that the 2-time champion South Korean team would end up taking one of them. And when looking at the other teams, you knew that the last spot was probably going to go to either Finland or Russia. Finland was the only other team besides South Korea in this group to have a roster made entirely of Overwatch League players, with tanks Fraggy from the Fusion and Zappis from the Mayhem, who took Diva and Flex tank roles, support duo Shaz and Big Goose from the LA Gladiators, and the DPS Linkster from the Outlaws and Taimu from the Fuel, all very good players. Meanwhile, Russia had just 2 Overwatch League players, the DPS Mistakes from the Uprising and Shadowburn from the Fusion, but 4 of their other 5 players hailed from Windstrike, which until recently was CIS Hope, a mainstay in the European Contenders scene. So while Finland had the mechanical advantage, Russia had more synergy. The Russia versus Finland battle was hard fought and extremely close. It was honestly a great match, and I highly recommend watching it if you haven't yet. Finland eventually came away with the 2-1 victory and will be going to BlizzCon alongside South Korea. Aw, Shadowburn. We didn't want you to become Shadowburn. It's also worth mentioning that there were times during this group stage where South Korea looked mortal. They got taken to 5 maps against Finland, and Carpe was repeatedly beaten by Mui, the Widowmaker player for Hong Kong, in their match. You know, the team that didn't win a single map. My point is, don't chalk the World Cup as an automatic South Korean victory just yet. But I mean, they're still the heavy favorites. Over the course of September, we'll see the other 3 group stages play out, starting with the US stage on the 7th, then on to Thailand on the 13th, and France on the 21st. Good luck to everybody competing. Alright, moving on to the Tier 2 scene. To be honest, it's impossible to follow all of Contenders. There's just so much, and you'd have to forfeit all sleep in order to watch it. But I can look at standings, and every region has either crowned a winner or is in the later stages of the playoffs, so let's see how everyone is doing heading into the end of August. North American Contenders was great this season. I especially loved watching last night's Leftovers, an independent team, beat Overwatch League affiliated teams and then make the playoffs, securing their spot in Season 3, while GGEA, Houston's team, was relegated to Contenders Trials. However, facing each other in the finals are going to be the reigning champion Fusion University going up against XL2. The finals will be played at BlizzCon along with the top 8 Overwatch World Cup. Both of these teams are chock full of future Overwatch League talent, and I would argue could beat some lower-level Overwatch League teams, so the finals will be a great snapshot into what could be the future of the Overwatch League. South America is still in their semifinals at the end of August. The 4 teams still in the running are Looking for Org, Isurus Gaming, Revolts Esports, and the reigning champions, as well as the only ones to go undefeated in groups this season, Brazil Gaming House. Who, if anyone, will be able to put an end to their reign? The semifinals will be played on September 1st with the finals on September 2nd. Heck, it might be over by the time this video goes up, but it didn't happen in August, so... So, as I'm recording this, Contenders Australia is actually streaming its semifinals and finals right now. But it's past August, so I don't have to report on it. The semifinals for Australia were Sydney Drop Bears, Kenga Esports, Order, and Darksided. And since it's definitely gonna be done by the time I finish editing this video, I'll just pop the winners on the screen right now. Congrats, whoever you are! Chinese Contenders has come to a close, and the result was basically the same as last time, with LGD Gaming once again losing to Lucky Future Zenith in the finals. I wonder how they've managed to win both seasons and show such dominance. Oh, okay, that makes sense. The Pacific region is currently in a holding pattern until the finals are played on September 14th. The two combatants are not who you'd expect either. Since the Season 1 winner, Detonator Korea, ended up shutting down, that left the Pacific region wide open for new talent. And no, last year's runner-up, Blank Esports, just barely squeaked into the playoffs only to get 3-0'd. Facing off are Talon Esports, a team that was knocked out in the first round of the playoffs last season, and Cyclops Athlete Gaming, a team that has climbed up to this point all the way from Open Division. Coincidentally, Cyclops is also the Japanese World Cup squad. Like, they're literally the same team. The Pacific region is often forgotten in Contenders, and that feeling of uncertainty, of legitimately having no clue what's about to happen, makes it intriguing to me. If you feel the same way, tune in on the 14th. Europe is another region that has been just completely blown open. Not only did the former champion British Hurricane, London's academy team, get relegated completely, but the presumed best team in Europe right now, Team Gigante, which has future Overwatch League players like Davin and Shatter 2K, ended up shockingly losing in the semifinals. So who's facing off in the finals? Well, that would be the Angry Titans, another team that has risen up from the Open Division, and Eagle Gaming, a team that also got knocked out in the first round of the playoffs in Season 1. Huh. Well, if you're from France, I highly recommend you tune in on the 21st, because a lot of your Overwatch World Cup players hail from Eagle Gaming. While the Angry Titans have Ludi, the only non-Overwatch League player in the starting 7 for Team Sweden, they also have Onigod, who will be playing for Norway, for you 3 Norwegians out there. Finally, we have Korea. Of course I'd save the best for last. Contenders Korea Season 2 has come to an end, and once again, last year's winners, X6 Gaming, struggled to even make playoffs and lost in the first round. This opened the door for anybody to come in and win, and in the end it came down to Runaway versus Guangzhou Panthera. Much like the NA Contenders Finals to come, this was a match that we could very well see in the Overwatch League, as these teams will both probably get picked up. Both of these teams had been around for a very long time, and both have storied histories. Look, seriously, if you haven't watched this game, if you are frustrated that the Overwatch League Finals were a bit of a blowout, go watch Runaway vs. Guangzhou Panthera Contenders Korea Season 2 Finals. I promise you will not be disappointed. In a best-of-7 match that went to 8 maps, the hometown favorite and perennial runner-up Runaway finally got themselves a title. This is a game that will go down in history as one of the best ever, not only for going to 8 maps, but also due to Runaway having to win 3 maps in a row in order to take the series. Both of these teams deserve to be among the world's best on the Overwatch League stage. Whew. Man, that was a lot to go through. Did I miss anything? Make sure to yell at me in the comments about it, because I love that. September promises to be a huge month in competitive Overwatch, with roster moves aplenty, new team announcements, the rest of the Overwatch World Cup group stages, and the conclusion of the rest of Contenders Season 2. I might have to make this a weekly series. If you want this to be a weekly series, let me know by hitting that like button and subscribing if you haven't yet. Or don't. I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. But until next time, guys, don't get tilted. Peace nut.